Welcome back to Podcast The Motion Picture. Today we are going to be talking about the classic 1983 film Star Wars The Return of the Jedi. So, the opening title crawl, it gave us a bunch of information, but none of that information answered my main questions.
Which are?
How long has it been since the last movie?
There's that, yes, because it's as if it's coming right off the heels. But also, how much of this Jabba escape plan was planned?
Yeah, and this whole thing with Leia bringing Chewie in.
Yeah.
And then Lando's already infiltrated the stuff. And then, I want to know how long it took to plan this as well.
And was there any tactical purpose to having anyone there but R2? Because I mean, like, R2 was the only one you needed. R2 and Luke. And I guess Leia. Because she did the, I guess there was multiple stages to the plan. Like, oh, okay, if Jabba doesn't go according to this part, then we'll do this. And then if he's still not budging, then we'll do this. And then if he's captured all of us, then we'll nod to each other. And then I'll jump off the thing like a surfboard, and R2 will shoot my lightsaber at me. And I will have used the Force before this, but I'll forget to use the Force for this entire fucking fight. And just use my lightsaber.
Imagine if because he Jedi mind tricked dudes earlier. Why couldn't he just Jedi mind trick, shoot Jabba?
Yeah, or even not needed to jump up and just maybe have his lightsaber just come to him.
Yeah, like he does towards the end when he dramatically turns. I wrote that in my notes. He looked like when he grabs the lightsaber right from the Emperor, when the Emperor's doing his weird role playing thing.
Yeah,
I'm defenseless. You can strike me down. Luke spins around like he's John Travolta in Pulp Fiction dancing with Uma Thurman. But yeah, why couldn't he have force pulled that? Whoop.
That's what I thought he was going to do the entire time, but I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, that works too.
Leia the damsel.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that's a fact or something fabricated? Because do you think she was ever seen in this film as a damsel in distress?
I think I think men in their society kind of try and picture her that way, especially since she's in that bikini outfit when she's enslaved by Jabba. But I definitely think she was much more self-reliant than that.
She saves Han.
Yeah.
That's a fact. They both end up getting captured, and Luke has to save everybody, but she does save him.
Yeah.
So would Han Solo be the damsel? Because even at the end of the film, when Han Solo actually admits, I love you, she's got a freaking blaster right there.
Yeah.
And she wipes those dudes out. Blah, blah, blah.
I think Han, or rather Han, is the damsel. Because
I agree.
Even at the end, there's a moment where she says, oh, I love him, and he's like, oh, you love, I get it. And if he had longer hair, he would have batted it away and turned away.
Yeah, he's definitely throwing a fit there.
Yeah, and then Nick just kind of goes back to my whole Harrison Ford always plays a whiny old lady.
Yeah, Han is definitely the damsel in this film. I'm glad I'm not the only person who saw that.
Yeah, I definitely think my favorite part of the movie, I think, was when Leia chokes out Jabba. I don't think anybody ever really talks about that. They always focus on, oh fuck, she looks so fucking hot in that bikini, and I'm just like, did you miss this part where she fucking chokes him out? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and even his tail's wagging.
I'm sure every man, well, sexual preferences excluded, will disagree with me, but I didn't find Leia as hot in the Slave Leia outfit as I did in the outfit. Once she took off her helmet when she was rescuing Han, her hair and makeup just looked better than it did as Slave Leia.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional, because I felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
because in that scene, it's like it's a beauty shot. She's the hero,
Yeah.
and maybe they painted her that way. So tell me, the dance number bit
Oh God.
in Jabba's hut. Describe what it looked like to me, guys, because I have the DVD I bought has the 1999 version, the updated special effects version, as well as the 1983 version. So
I think I watched the film you're thinking, the version you're thinking of, the remastered with the computer generated bug looking thing.
Yeah,
guys.
Sam.
okay, so I have both versions, and the 1983 version is like kind of like a southern blues kind of song, and that puppet, the CGI big lip thing, is there, but it's a puppet.
Okay,
and
yeah, I thought I could have sworn. Yeah, I thought I had remembered seeing it.
Yeah, and they don't have those like backup singers like in a like doo-wop fucking beauty shop singing thing. Yeah, so this is the film that David Lynch shot down because he said he didn't like sci-fi, and then he made Dune. And I heard through like an interview from Mr. Lynch himself that I guess during a very early meeting, George Lucas was trying to like wine and dine him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing it just kind of came off as douchey because David Lynch said something like, yeah, he showed me his Ferrari and he had like this crazy lunch. So it seems like what I'm imagining is like George Lucas drives up in his Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever. And David Lynch is like, hey, that's a really nice car, George. Oh, that old thing. Okay, well, I'm not working on your movie, D-bag. Boba Fett. Why does Boba Fett get so much love? He's pretty garbage.
Yeah.
He got kind of lame death. That was a very lame death.
Okay. Freaking Han Solo busts like Jackie Chan. I'm blind, but I got this pole, and let me trip and smack you off of a fucking hover ship. Like, I laughed. I was like, this is Boba Fett? Like, yeah, it's cool. He's got a jetpack. He's got a grappling hook. That's just pretty cool. But then, Han Solo, like, ooh, Three Stooges him off into the Sarlacc pit. Yeah, that was very disappointing. I thought maybe I'd watched an edit of it where I missed some like cool scene. But no. We will not have a Kevin McAllister or Rufio's Lost Boys from Hook if not for the Ewoks.
Huh.
They were tripping those walking robots. They were freaking parasailing, dropping rocks. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It was great.
It happened. Actually, I don't think I ever really disliked the Ewoks, but the first time when Warwick Davis came up as that first Ewok dude, I fell in love, man. I'm not embarrassed.
They're fucking
to say
adorable.
that. I fucking love Ewoks, man. Why?
What do you think about the baby Ewok?
I want one.
On the adorability rating, adorability scale, the Ewoks are genuinely adorable.
Yes.
And I liked how at the end when they won, there's that one Ewok that like does a fucking like flip cartwheel. Like it was going down. And so why was Han Solo like, get that spear out of my face? Like, dude, there are a lot of them here. Cool it.
Because he is a whiny old man.
Yes, he is.
I want to talk with you guys about droids for a second.
Okay.
I think droids in the Star Wars universe are the darkest part of the universe. Because
they torture each other?
One, they torture each other. Two, they've proven that they're like just as sentient as us.
Yeah.
And three, we wipe their minds and own them.
Yeah, like what C-3PO says in A New Hope, something about we're created to suffer.
Yeah.
Like a non-sentient being wouldn't say something like that.
Yeah. And that brings me to my next point. They're in the droid torture chamber. That there was a certain droid who was just getting his like feet branded and screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Someone had to design that droid to feel pain. And if so, was the purpose to be tortured, or like is that a warning to all the other droids coming through there? You know, is that part of the conveyor belt of droid hazing? You know what I mean? When you come
Yeah,
in,
because
it's supposed to put the fear of God into you.
like when you break it down, why does any sentient creature feel pain? It's to escape danger and to make sure everything internally and stuff like that. Your limbs are still not being attacked by parasite, a predator, a force of nature. So why would they need to give a robot, a droid, something like that?
Did anyone think the stakes for the Skywalker family are a little too high? Because we've talked about before how uh, George Lucas's vision for Star Wars was, you know, the story of Anakin Skywalker falling from grace.
Mhm.
But in this film, Yoda pretty much says to Luke before he dies, "Kill your dad or evil wins." Like
Yeah.
those are the two options.
I also want to say something else before we really dive into that about Luke that bothered me. He introduces himself as a Jedi Knight.
Yeah, that bothered
And
me
I was
too.
like, he's not a knight. And that doesn't Yoda even say something like, "You didn't finish your training"?
He's
Or
not
was
even a
the Emperor
Jedi
that said
yet.
that? Or Darth Vader said that shit?
No, Yoda
Somebody
says
said that.
Yoda basically tells him, "You're not a Jedi until you kill your dad."
Yeah.
And actually, going back to that, like even that, like Yoda and the Jedi Council have been giving weird advice to Jedi for a while about what exactly you need to do to become a Jedi. And I feel like it's not good advice.
They're just making it up
It's
as they
not.
go along.
Yeah.
It really feels like it. One thing about Yoda is, so you know, it was the Jim Henson Company
Mhm.
that did Yoda as well as the Ewoks. In 1982, a film from the Jim Henson Company, directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz, who did the voice of Yoda, called The Dark Crystal came out. And in it, towards the beginning of the film, the main character's mentor dies. And he has a like a blanket wrapped over him, and he disintegrates, and the blanket falls. Fast forward 1 year, Luke Skywalker's mentor dies by disintegrating with a little blanket over him, and the blanket falls. I just think it's weird that the Jim Henson Company did the same effect, the same dying scene
Hmm.
in two movies 1 year apart from each other.
Yeah.
And The Dark Crystal took like 8 years to make.
Yeah.
So that was something that they had been working on for the better part of a decade.
Yeah.
So they knew, hey, oh man, that Dark Crystal that you did last year, let's do that part where Urso died, but for Yoda.
Yeah.
So
I don't think there's anything wrong with that though.
I don't think so either. I just wanted to point it out to you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of strange things that Jedi do, my favorite Luke Skywalker line is during his fight with his last fight with his father, Darth Vader. Or Darth Vader, who basically says, "I'm going to kill you, then I'm going to go kill your sister." You guys remember what Luke responds? His retort to that?
What?
Never!
But you know what I kind of realized on this viewing was Vader making those threats was his version of showing his love. From what we know, like the Sith only has two people. Like there's only Master and Apprentice, and so from the moment that the Emperor even entertained the idea of Luke being his apprentice, Vader knew that his son was going to have to kill him in order to become that apprentice. And from that moment, he was willing to die to let Luke become that apprentice. So I think that's his own twisted way of showing his love, but because he wanted Luke to live rather than for Vader to be the succeeding person.
How come in this film, when he reads Luke's mind, he basically then says, "Fucking Obi-Wan, he didn't do a good enough job training you. Now I know that you have a sister, and I'm gonna go kill her." He didn't know.
Yeah,
He didn't know Luke had a sister.
the kid is going by Luke Skywalker.
True.
Like for the witness protection that Obi-Wan did, he still let the kid be named Skywalker, even though he's
Yeah.
raised by the. They weren't called Skywalkers, were they? Owen and Beru. Shmi married into that family.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have been Skywalkers.
Yeah. Yeah, should have been like Luke Lars? No, was that
Like
the guy?
like Luke Besson. I think that was.
You almost got me for a second. I was just like, oh wait, what?
I heard it.
Yeah, it's Lars.
That was a good
His last
laugh.
name is Lars.
Luke Lars.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been a member of Bad Dreams Spray.
Luke Lars.
Tell me about the ending, guys. Who were the Force ghosts you guys saw?
I saw what is his name? Hayden Christensen.
Even though for whatever reason his ghost should have been his bald Darth Vader face.
I mean, that
because it's not like you and
like when you die, you
Ewan
retain
McGregor.
like your oldest form. Technically,
Okay, but
they
why-
all should have gotten younger though.
exactly. That's why. Why wasn't Ewan McGregor there?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
CGI Yoda.
I think in the effort to putting Hayden back in, I think it was like a reference to the Jedi form of Anakin. Like, oh, he redeemed himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was the last time he was like a Jedi. Was in that form.
That makes sense. All right, I'll give it a pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they showed Naboo at the end, it's a bunch of Gungans chanting, "We sa free,
Oh, really?
we sa free."